Are you ready to finally live in alignment with your soul? Hello, everyone. My name is Paola Castro. I'm a life coach, author, speaker, spiritual practitioner, passionate student of this work, of this inner work, the work of spiritual development, personal development, and it is a joy to be here with you today to talk about how do we get in alignment with our soul, and why is this important, and what are the perspectives, the perceptions that we need to have or that we could acquire, if that's your soul's desires, to see life from a different perspective, from a different lens, so that it doesn't feel impossible for you to feel in alignment with your higher self, with your purpose. So today the question is, are you ready to finally get in alignment with your soul? If your answer is a big yes, then please stay with me, because today I'm going to share with you 3 perspectives, 3 shifts you can do today so that you can feel closer to your true self. And why is this important? Well, we live in a world where we've been programmed by a system. And I don't want to be, all a Debbie Downer and say the system is, you could believe the system is broken, yes. And there are many things in the system that has worked for us, has brought us all the way here. Some of the things about this system is it comes also from beliefs from religion, beliefs from your family, beliefs from your country, from your culture. And some of those beliefs may be working for you, and that's all good. But some of those beliefs many times makes us stop in our journey and ask ourselves, is this truly what I want for my life? Many years ago, I asked myself this question. I even wrote a book about it. Today I brought it to you because one of the perspective shifts that I would like to share with you comes from my book, and I call it Free. Your path to fulfillment begins here. And this book, I wrote it with that intention of, I need to understand what I want. I need to understand what does freedom means to me. Who am I? Who's my soul? Why do I want to get in alignment with this thing called a soul or my higher self? And my biggest trigger to seek for this answer was that I wasn't feeling good about the way I was living. I wasn't proud of the habits that I was engaging in. I wasn't in the relationships I want to be in. It felt toxic. It felt like I wasn't progressing. I was in a career that I didn't like. My health wasn't expressing the vitality that I wanted to express. So there were many things in my life that would put me into crisis. And I could either take the route of the victim and have someone to blame and to shame, or I could take the route of the creator and say, okay, what is it that I don't like? And what would I like? Simple questions like that. So today we're talking about how to get in alignment with our souls. If the answer is yes, I am ready. Welcome to this Facebook Live. I'm about to share with you 3 perceptions, 3 perspectives that you can acquire today to find answers that will bring clarity to you and will help you to live more in alignment with yourself. Thank you for being here. It's a joy to have you today here. So, perception number 1. Greek philosophers used to call this process a very fancy name. I'm going to try to say it, so if I don't do justice in the way that the Greek called it, please forgive me. But there's a process that the Greek philosophers used to call eudaimonia. So now don't get too scared about this name if it feels kind of like, what does that even mean? I'm going to explain it to you, and I'm going to use these crystals that I have here with me. Imagine that this is you. This is your human self. And this is your higher self. So I purposely chose a stone that represents the lower energy centers and a stone that represents a higher energy center, or what the yogis will call it, a chakra. So this is you going on about your life. And so we come into this beautiful world, and as children we are pure. And as we get into society, we get programmed, and we go into a family, and sometimes things happen to us, trauma, violence, or sometimes, parents that weren't available for you, or living in a country where possibilities didn't seem to be on your, things didn't seem to be on your favor. You didn't think you had possibilities. So this is you coming into this world, and then as you start getting programmed, you start getting out of alignment with your higher self. So you start getting, let's say, somewhere over here, kind of somewhere over in this corner. I hope you can see the full spectrum of what I can see in my own camera. And so the distance and the let's say the distance between your higher self and where you are as a human, this distance and this misalignment with your higher self is what causes anxiety, doubt, worry, depression. Because here you are living this human life, forgetting that you are an eternal being. There's a higher expression of you that is calling your name. Hey, in my case, Paola, come here. You're not in the career that you want to be. You're not following your truth. You're doing what people want you to do, but this is not who you are. You're following cultural rules that you don't really agree with. Please come over here. The more you deny this calling, what Joseph Campbell will call the hero's journey, that you will always get a call, the more you deny this calling, the more depression, the more anxiety, the more worry and doubt. So the philosophers called this process of getting into alignment and closer to your higher self, the process of eudaimonia. They call the higher self the eudaimon, and this is the egoic self, the persona that you have created. And what we want to do is to get in alignment and closer to it. Now, I'm well aware that we never really close this gap, because we are beings that are constantly progressing. We're always evolving and expanding ourselves. So the more you grow, the more it wants to keep expanding. So it's okay that we never close this, because we're ever expanding beings. But what we want to do is, if you're over here, and how do you know if you're over here? I'm going to repeat myself, but this is important. You know you're out of alignment if you have a lot of anxiety, if you have a lot of darkness around your thought patterns, if you have a lot of criticism and judgment and discontent and just not feeling good. That's just an indication that you have detoured from your soul's path. So we want to do this process, the eudaimonia process, which is what the Greek philosophers used to call. So that's perspective number one. There is a way. There is a way for you and I to get in alignment. Now, the first question you need to ask yourself, I need to ask myself, is, am I willing? Am I willing to do this work? Do I want to? Am I sick and tired of being sick and tired? If your answer is yes, I am done, Paola, I don't know how or what, or what do I need to do, or how am I going to do it, but I just say yes, I am ready. Beautiful. If you say yes, keep watching. If your answer is no, perhaps this is not a video for you today. And that's all right, because we're all in our own moment of evolution. But if your answer is yes, keep watching. Now, I said to you today, I'm going to share with you 3 perception shifts you can bring into your life so that you can get more in alignment. So number 1, there is a process called the eudaimonia process, when we get more in alignment with our soul. So now you may be asking, well, Paula, that sounds easier said than done. But what else do I need to know in order for me to get in closer to my soul's calling, to my higher self? And the other perception shift I want to share with you today is the difference between being in purpose and being in our mission. I don't think there is one versus the other. I think it's purpose and a mission. Because what happens when we are out of alignment? We feel like we got no purpose in life. So as we get in alignment, we find that, life has more sense, that there's more meaning to it. Now, sometimes when we start doing this, people say, Paula, but I don't know, I feel better, but I don't know what my purpose in life is. Now, I want to make this distinction between purpose and mission. And you guys, I'm putting together, this is like a crash course on how to get in alignment with yourself. But I know that if you're deciding to watch this and to stay in this Facebook Live, is because there's something in you that says, I want to know more. So bear with me, stay with me. Purpose, and this is something that I've taken from my teacher, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Purpose is when you're revealing and expressing the qualities of the cosmos. So when we talk about qualities, universal qualities, we talk about joy and love and creativity, intelligence, which is not intellect. Intelligence is more like wisdom, peace. So those are some of the qualities of the universe. Are qualities that are always there. They're absolute. They are part of our nature. And how do we know that these are the qualities of the cosmos? Just be around the innocence of a child, or be around nature, animals. They all are revealing and expressing very effortlessly the qualities of the universe. Order is another quality of the universe. Harmony is another quality of the universe. So your purpose and my purpose is to reveal and express these universal qualities. So when we ask ourselves, what's my purpose? I feel that this perspective makes me feel closer to it, because it's not attached to a condition. I need to find the job that I have to be doing in life for me to feel in purpose or in alignment. You start from where you are, going within and looking within for those qualities. Now you may be saying, Paola, well, I've been depressed for a while. I've been in my dark night of the soul for a while. I don't know what you're talking about really, because I feel so out of alignment. And yes, I understand this process that I can get in alignment, but I don't feel it. I don't sense it. So a question we must ask ourselves when we're perhaps going through the dark night of the soul, or perhaps now you're not going through a dark night of the soul, but you just feel pretty lost, is what do I need to let go of? Because those qualities that I just described, love, creativity, joy, wisdom, peace, all of those qualities already live within you. Now, I don't want you to just blindly believe what I'm telling you. I want you to feel it in your heart. If there's resonance with my words, it's because you are recognizing this is the truth. If there's no resonance with my words, that's all right too. You have the right to be exactly where you are in your life. It's all part of the evolution of your own soul. So, what do I need to let go of? Because this path of the spiritual, or let's call it the higher self, having a human incarnation, it's about letting go of everything that is preventing you from seeing who you are, instead of trying to acquire more things. This comes from the principle that you're already whole. There's nothing missing. There's nothing to fix. You are already whole. So if that's the truth, let's say I don't believe it yet, but if that's the truth, why is it that I can't see it? Well, usually because you have picked up, and I'm going to say this word even if it's a harsh word, you have picked up a lot of garbage from a society that is heavily asleep. Now, the good news is that I know that we're waking up, and if you sign up for a page called Educated Minds, and you're taking your time to watch this, it's because you are waking up, or you're an awakened soul, wanting to remember deeper who you are. But this path is not about acquiring anything. This path is about letting go of all that garbage, of all those limiting perceptions that we have received from a society that have been through a lot of pain. I love the phrase hurt people hurt people. So hurt has created more pain, more hurt. And so what do you need to let go of? What do you need to release? And the third perception, and this is something that I have written in my book, and I'm going to show it to you. So my book it's written in 3 parts, 3 main parts. The first one, it's called Wake Up. The second one, it's called, wait a minute, just a second. No, I'm sorry. The first one is called The Veil. I wrote this book a while ago. The second one is called Wake Up. And the third one is called Integration. And so there is a few questions that I asked in this book. And I'm just going to give it to you today that will help you to get more in alignment with your soul's truth, with your truth. And this is in page 55. My website is paulacastrocoaching.com if you want to go get the book. And in page 55, the title is Courage and Inspiration. I allude that courage doesn't come from your logical mind, it comes from your heart, as it stems from the Latin word core. Now, once you gather your courage, I invite you to ask yourself the following question. So, in perception number 1, we talked about the eudaimonia. Are you willing to do this process of getting in alignment? Number 2, we talked about the difference between purpose and a mission, which is purpose. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Purpose is revealing and expressing the qualities of the universe. A mission is when you are in this expression of love, creativity, joy, and like a child, when you become childlike, not childish, but childlike. And then your gifts and talents, they start being expressed through your work. That it goes beyond a job. It's when you're starting to feel passionate about what you do, and you know that inside of you, you have gifts and talents. So that's the difference between the purpose and the mission. Purpose, just to reveal who you are. If you don't know who you are, start letting go of all those habits, all those things that are no longer serving you. Mission is when you start putting your gifts and talents of service in the service of a mission, of a passion of yours. Now, number 3, you need to start asking yourself powerful questions. My teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith, says the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of your questions. If you want high quality questions, if you want high quality answers, you might ask yourself high quality questions, and then the quality of your life will increase. So, question number 1. If failing was impossible, what risks would you take right now? Question number 2. If money wasn't a thing for you, what would you dedicate your life for? Question number 3. If you had to pay to dedicate your life to something and you had all the money to do it, what would it be? Question number 4. If tomorrow you woke up and everything you had to do had already been resolved, how would you spend your day? Interesting questions. These are just questions that activate your curiosity. What do you believe is unique about you? What talents do you know you have, but for some reason you have not used them for a long time, or you have never nurtured them? Besides time and money, because that's something that people say a lot, besides time and money, what do you most desire? Now, I'm not going to read all of these questions because they're 12, but I just read you half of them. And beyond the questioning, the message for you today is, are you willing to be curious? To ask those questions that go beyond, why is this happening to me? Because that's when we are in victim consciousness, we think people are doing things to us. We become powerless. We go into survival mode. And then the hormones of stress and cortisol and all of that, they just flood our bodies, and then they create more chaos in our lives. And then we ask the question again, why is this happening to me? Now, my third perception for you today is welcome better questions into your life. Get really curious about who you are by asking higher consciousness or frequency questions, which is not, why is this happening to me? Who's to blame or who's to shame? And we live in a society where there's a lot of blame and shaming. There's a lot of separation. There's a lot of fingers pointing. They're doing it wrong. Now, if you're a courageous soul, and I know you are, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching until now, ask yourself this question. Entertain those questions. Who am I? If I had it all, if I had all the resources that I think I need, how would I give to the world? What is true about myself? What is it that I truly, truly want? That question right there, such a good question. What do I truly want? If I didn't have to please anybody, what would I do? Now, if these are hard questions for you, another question to ask yourself is, who do I need to forgive before I can start dreaming for myself? I notice that people hold on to a lot of resentment, and sometimes that really puts a thick veil in front of their eyes, so they can't really go to these higher quality questions. So maybe you want to start today. Who do I need to forgive? Is it myself? Is it others? Beautiful. Amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. I haven't read your chat or your messages, but I will do it in a little bit. I just wanted to put this message out there as a way of channeling the higher mind through me, and I didn't want to get distracted with the messages, but I'll check it out later. Have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, depending where you're watching in the world. And remember, number 1, there is a way to get in alignment with your soul. Number 2, you're already in purpose. But you existing, you're already in purpose. If you don't see it, it's because there's something that you need to let go of. Once you see it, your mission, the clarity about your mission will be very easy to find. And number 3, be curious, open, and available to ask different questions. That's my message for you today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.